Hey everybody, this is Matt Dickman of Techno Marketer, and this is another edition of Inside Out. Today what we're going to look at is LinkedIn, and for those of you that don't know, LinkedIn is a professional social network, basically. It's been around for quite a long time. I can actually remember being a member of this site, 4 or 5 years ago, way before it had actually picked up the critical mass it has today. And as of late, it's really picked up some steam, especially in professional circles. There are people that are participating on LinkedIn that I haven't really seen participating anywhere else, from senior vice presidents, CEOs, CMOs. So, there's definitely a level of trust that the site's picked up, which I think is great and well-deserved too. So, what I want to do today is kind of show you some of the features, and more importantly than that, how LinkedIn is leveraging the network of individuals inside to provide more value to me as a user. And, if you've ever listened to me before or read my blog before, basically you know that it's all about the value. It's all about value for the user. So LinkedIn, I think, is one of the better sites at creating value for the user based on the aggregated data that the collective community is putting together. So basically when you log into LinkedIn, it presents you with kind of a dashboard of what's going on. So it tells you, if somebody sent you an email, how many emails are in your inbox and what you need to reply to. How many of your contacts, people that you've connected with, have updated information and what they've updated. If you've asked a question, which I'll get into kind of their answers area in a second, but if you've asked a question, people can give you answers back, and you'd be really surprised at how quickly and the quality of what those answers are, as I found last week asking a question. I get into that in a second though. So on the page, it shows you, who's updated information. It shows you who is connected with new people. So it says, Doug Meacham, who's a blog friend of mine, has connected with one connection. So I can click that, go to his profile, see who he's connected with. And one really good way of building your network on here is going to people that you're already connected with, seeing who they're connected with, and then using their relationship to reach people that you need or that you want. So some of the other things that are on here, you see a little bit of advertising, just basically contextual stuff by Google. It's fairly relevant. For me, I've noticed it completely geared towards interactive shops, as well, as far as the ads and the kind of job opportunity thing, which you see at the bottom of basically every page, because that's, another way that people are using this. So it's the people in your network are hiring. So it looks at my network and who they're connected to, and then if there are jobs associated with their companies, it shows those back to me. It also goes back to education and the current company that you're working for. So really, the more complete your profile inside the system, the better it is in the end, because it uses those connections. If you're working for a company and 50 other people are, it makes it really easy to connect with them, to keep up to date on who's changing roles and who's connecting with new people. And then at the bottom is something really interesting. It basically shows me, I have 247 personal connections. My connections have 21,300 connections. And those connections have connections that equal about 1.4 million people. So just kind of, they're showing you along the way, how powerful the system is, with the whole 6 degrees of separation kind of idea that they leverage, and I think in a really clever way. So the advertising is pretty minimal. It lets you do some interesting things, across the top. Jobs and hiring. This is recruiters do use this tool quite often. There used to be a section on the homepage that would show you who has recently visited your profile, which for whatever reason isn't there right now. But it would just show you, from what company or what industry people are coming from, and you would see a lot of recruiters come through there. But I think it's a really good way, and I've heard some real success stories of people posting jobs here through trusted communities where on a monster.com or Craigslist, it's really falling flat because there's no trust built between people, which is a big differentiator, I think, with LinkedIn and some of those other networks. The answers area, which I said that I used last week, basically what, I started doing an audio podcast about a week ago. And I had a question on interviewing people over the phone and capturing that audio in a high quality MP3. So I basically sent a question, what's the best way to capture audio? And literally within a day, I had 15 answers, all from podcasters who were connected to friends of mine, extremely trusted. I mean, the information that I got there was better than any group, any forum, better than most blogging how-to kind of things from other podcasters. Is really, really focused. And I've participated in some of these answers things. I highly encourage you to go out and kind of poke around, see what's out there, and see how this answers thing can kind of benefit you. And really, there are no limitations to the questions. Doing something in more of a sales mode is not really acceptable, but asking true, genuine questions, I think, is a really powerful way to use this. And everything is categorized, so it makes it really easy to find. Really, the heart of the system, though, is kind of the contacts and the connections. So when you click on My Contacts, it goes ahead and it shows you kind of an alphabetical list of who you're connected to. And the icons on the right show you kind of the depth and breadth of who other contacts of yours are connected to. So the more little connections, the heavier they are connected. And when it shows up glowing orange, it actually means that they have recently connected with somebody. So there are a lot of little visual indicators, kind of user interface things that make it easier to surf through all of this navigation. So you can go ahead and sort by show contacts with new connections, which really lets you keep up on who your connections are connecting with, which I think is really valuable. And then at any time you can go into somebody. Let's take Cam Beck here. He's an experienced planner with Click Here down in Dallas, a friend of mine. And basically, you can see who he's connected to. There's a connections tab, so I can see Cam's connections, who has recommended Cam and who he's recommended. I've used it really to help build and keep connected with people that I meet through blogging and through trade shows, presentations, that kind of thing. It really gives me a centralized platform where I don't have to go out and every time somebody moves or changes jobs, I don't have to find their new information, update an address book. It's all centrally located and it's updated by them basically in real time. So as a change happens, it's updated. There are some other things that LinkedIn is using to help monetize. If you go to the inbox, you can actually send in-mails, which are basically lets you reach out to someone you're not connected to through the system using LinkedIn as a trusted a point of reference. So you can actually purchase these. So if you wanted to reach out to somebody for a new business opportunity, you could do that. You could purchase an in-mail and directly contact someone through LinkedIn, and that they're kind of the mediator. They're the trusted source that authenticates the message, which I think is really powerful. So I definitely encourage you to check out LinkedIn. If you're not already a member, definitely check it out. I think you'll be really surprised at the number of people that that are already there and the quality of those people. So until next time, this is Matt Dickman of Techno Marketer. This is another edition of Inside Out. And if you have a network which you think, or anything really in social media, any kind of site, definitely send it over, mattdickman@gmail.com, or you can leave me a comment on this post. And that's it for now. I'll talk to you soon.